Quarter. Hey everyone, Tom Black here with the True Life with Tom show. I am joined by someone with amazing energy, a beautiful bright light. Her name is Deena Paige. Say hi, Deena. I'm getting ready to read your
Hi.
bio. Thank you for joining us. Deena Paige has always been passionate about the power of transformation and helping people feel more confident, empowered, and connected to themselves. Her
Mm,
work has always been centered around helping people create a better quality of life. And today, that passion is involved from outer transformation to the deeper work of transformation, transforming from within. For
yeah.
18 years, Deena worked as a professional makeup artist, helping people feel more confident through the power of outer transformation. What she loved most was not just the makeup itself, but witnessing the moment someone began to see themselves differently and feel more confident in who they were. Over time, Deena's own journey led her inward. What a beautiful place to be. After experiencing a spiritual awakening, she immersed herself in books and podcasts and personal development, exploring identity, trust, healing, and the beliefs that shape our lives. While these concepts were powerful, she often found herself asking, how do we actually apply this to everyday life? That's a great question. The
Mm,
question inspired Deena Page Wellness and her YouTube channel. You're going to be able to find that great information and get connected with Deena in this description. And through her content, Deena shares her experiences and the lessons she has learned to help people reframe the way they see themselves and what is possible for their lives. She explores mindset, identity, healing, nervous system regulation, and creating a healthier relationship with abundance, helping people move from fear and scarcity into greater trust, calm, and possibility. I hope I covered everything
I
here,
mean, that's pretty
Deena.
thorough. That's
Oh,
great.
I could have gone on for days. I am
Oh,
so thankful that you're here. You could be anywhere on the planet Earth right now, and you're with me. Thank
yes,
you
thank
so much.
you.
Thank you so much. So, what made you decide to work on transformation from outer to inner
Great.
to inner? What was that moment like?
Well, I mean, every time I would do someone's makeup, I would witness their transformation on the inner because they would walk away more confident and you could just see it in their energy that they felt, really pretty and felt really good about themselves. And some of these women had never felt that before. And so I got pieces of it throughout my career of just seeing people's transformation on the inner, maybe making them think about themselves differently or their beliefs differently. But then I had my own spiritual awakening, so to speak, my own transformation that led me on this deep dive of like, what are my beliefs? What is, this trauma work that I need to heal? And I just kept, digging and digging and digging. And there's so much that to go through. And the more I worked on myself, I realized how much my life changed. Like my external life, my experiences all transformed because of the inner work I was doing. And I had actually had a YouTube channel previously teaching makeup. And so it was natural for me to start a YouTube channel and start sharing all these ideas that I had and all these things I was learning and share them on YouTube and hope that they help people, the way that they help me.
Wow. Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned something before we got started about spiritual awakening.
Yes. Yeah.
Was there an event or a person that really kind of set you on fire? Because I
Yeah.
have a few myself.
Absolutely. I think, unfortunately, for some people and for me, it takes a catastrophic event or a crisis moment to kind of wake you up. And that was a car accident for me. I was just driving one day and this car ran a red light and drove right into my car. And I had a lot of injuries and a lot of pain. And I remember I just kept thinking, why did this happen? Like, I feel like there's a reason this happened to me. And I just knew it. I called intuition, call it, higher self speaking to me. But I sort of woke up to the experiences in our life are always helping us grow, always teaching us something.
Hmm.
And I knew that this was this new path I was supposed to take, that I kind of felt like the whole beauty industry was evolving and it was evolving and I needed to follow this path of inner transformation. And so, that's kind of where I took a turn into this world. from
Right.
my spiritual awakening.
Sure. Yeah. And that's amazing. That sounds great. And thank you so much for that awesome
Yeah,
answer. What I wanted to find out from you is, you've done a lot of inner work yourself,
yeah,
and now you're seeing the results in other people. Can you
yes.
take me through, like, if I were to set up, do you have a free session or paid session or both, in your
I
business?
actually don't do one-on-one coaching. I feel
Okay.
like when I was a makeup artist for so many years, it was like mini one-on-one consultations and coaching sessions for 18
Hmm.
years. So I feel like I developed that understanding of people's psyches and their traumas and what their identity and their beliefs. And I would
Hmm.
hear the same things over and over again with self-confidence issues or self-worth issues and self-doubt. And so I feel like I've done so much coaching already through my makeup artistry and
Hmm.
helping people and healing them. I have done some one-on-one coaching, but a lot of my energy goes to creating content. I feel like
Okay.
I can reach so many more people through my videos than I could just doing one-on-one. And
Okay.
so I focus on bringing my beautiful energy, channeling my energy to healing people through my content, to making them feel seen and heard and understood, and walking away feeling like they have this information, these tools that can help them transform their lives.
Right. And how often are you posting videos on your YouTube channel?
I try and post 2 long form content videos a week, and then I'll do a bunch of shorts throughout the week. And then I also have a TikTok, that I post a lot of short content to as well.
Okay. And
Yeah.
again, everybody, just so you know, because I know you can't wait to get connected with Deena Paige. All right. You're going to have the links in here where you can follow her on TikTok and
Yeah.
YouTube, and perhaps get some more insights. The next thing that I wanted to ask you, Deena, is what's your big vision? What impact do you want to leave on the planet in the work that you're doing? What's that look like
Um,
for you for
I
you?
always just channel what I'm feeling called to do in the moment. I'm very much a listener of my intuition, and I feel like whatever I'm being called to do or passionate about right now is what I'm supposed to be doing. So
Hmm.
for me, that's video content. I'm always an open door, so I don't know where that might lead. It may lead to coaching eventually. It may lead to me to writing books. It may lead me to doing talks or podcasts. I'm very
Hmm.
open to where this journey takes me. I feel like as soon as I pick a path, I kind of close other doors, so to speak.
Hmm.
So I really work on just listening to that inner guidance, that intuition from source energy, and what I'm being called to do next. And right now, I still feel called to make content and just
Hmm.
expanding on my content. Something I've really been working on is just channeling energy, and I'm
Hmm.
really curious where that might go to.
Right, right.
Yeah,
And so you have videos right now that I can watch on YouTube that are
yeah.
about channeling energy and some of those things that you've already talked about.
Yes. Well, I
Uh,
channel energy when I speak a lot of the times too. So like whatever message comes through or whatever I feel like the audience might need to hear is what I say.
hmm. And how do you prepare when you like, for example, I do some online communication through Zoom and certainly podcasts, but I prepare and I say something like, God, please help me serve Deena to the best of my ability and give me all the words to say to show her the way.
So it's
How
very simple.
how do
I do
you prepare before you do your content? How do you show up?
I always close my eyes and I always take a deep breath and I like to like sigh it out. And then I just get really quiet and I will ask for guidance as well. I will say like spirit guides or higher self, give me the words, channel through me, whatever message, this person who's watching it. I always try and focus on one person who's
Hmm.
watching this video, maybe something that can help them what they need to hear today. Let it come through me easily. And then
Hmm.
I just kind of open my eyes and I smile and my intention has been set and I hit record.
Well, let's dig into that a little bit. I'm well aware of intentions. I told you that I show up on purpose. You
Yeah,
obviously show up on purpose.
absolutely.
Let's dive in a little deeper. Why don't people set intentions for those things they want to happen? Why don't they set the intention?
That's a good question. Through my work, I've kind of narrowed down to like two reasons why people don't set intentions for what they really want. And it's usually a lack of self belief or self worth or doubt. they doubt it will ever happen. They don't trust that it will happen for them. And usually it's their past experiences that are speaking, their subconscious beliefs.
Hmm.
And so a lot of ruminating or self-talk gets in their way of, that's not for me, that'll never happen, that could never be for me. And so they don't even try and they don't even make the intention, which is really
Hmm.
sad. I my whole purpose and mission is to help people see themselves differently. And obviously it started with makeup. But when you tell them your stories, sometimes that opens a door to the belief, like your MS story. Like
Hmm.
some people, if they're open, they hear you, but some people's doors are closed, unfortunately, I feel like.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned I read something in your bio about also about identity.
Yes.
One of the things that's a challenge that you and I have both experienced through family members, friends, or maybe even ourselves
Mm,
is when we have a diagnosis or when
mm,
we're broken in an accident, we take on the identity of an unwell person.
right. Yeah, that can
Do
happen.
you have any insights on how you would help break out of the identity of a sick person?
Well, I hate to use the word victim mentality, but I feel like on some level, when you feel unwell, you can feel like a victim of that circumstance. And I know this through the pain from my car accident. And you feel like you're not in control of your life and that the pain is in control. And so a lot of my work and what helped me was just realizing that I'm in control. I'm in control of my thoughts, I'm in control of my body, I am the awareness, I am the consciousness. And it's bringing yourself back to that powerful state that you are in control and connecting to that feeling of connectedness. A lot of times when you're in that state of helplessness, so to speak, you're not connected to yourself or to the universe. And so I found the more that I have found purpose in why this happened to me, and I let myself accept what happened to me. I didn't resist it, and I
Hmm.
allowed myself to heal through that experience. I found I was in a more powerful position to change my beliefs and my identity into someone who was able to feel better and experience a better quality of life.
Right, right. Yeah, that brings me to a thought, and I think this is one of the big ones, I think, in general in life. Many people, men and women, are
Mm,
very hard on themselves.
so true.
They have some fear, some lack, those things, but we can call it self-esteem, we can call it self-confidence. What have you done in your life to make you a priority and to bring self-love into your experience right now?
Mm. Well, being kind to myself is one thing. I think as a woman, a lot of times our confidence comes from the way we look. And I think working in the beauty industry was kind of hard on myself for a long time. And so I would work on just feeling good about myself no matter what. And that was a hard place for me to get to, is just saying, I'm okay no matter what. I feel good. I'm in control of that. And just really leaning into that feeling and trust within myself. It really helped me along the way.
Right, right. And so one of the things that I wanted to share with everyone, I've actually created a list of 10 daily self-love
Oh, I
practices.
love that.
So I wanted to share a few of them with you in this moment because they've changed my whole how I show up. I probably did this 4 or 5 months ago, but probably 6 months ago I wouldn't have reached out to you. But I love
Interesting.
myself so much and I'm radiating it out and I'm getting it back because
Mhm.
I'm, what you put out, you get back.
So true.
So I reached out to you in love and you reached back to me in love. And that's how we ended up here. And thank God for that. So my first thing I do is say, thank you, God, for another beautiful day in your amazing universe. And
Mm,
that's even before I get out of bed. And sometimes I'll do it in the yard in the sunshine, and just look up at the sky. But
beautiful.
after I brush my teeth, I'll splash cold water on my head and my face and my neck and just kind of really get things juiced up. And then I
Mm,
go into my mirror and I say, I love you, Tom. I love
oh,
you. I love you.
such a
And
practice.
I say it 10 times.
Oh, I
I've
love
got
that.
to tell you, it was
Yeah,
so uncomfortable until it wasn't.
very true.
And
Yeah.
then, and now when I get up in the morning, I need some Tom love from Tom.
Right.
So I
That's
can't wait to get in the mirror, right?
yeah.
And aside from the fact I think I look 45, even though I'm 60. But anyway, I do that. And then I put my face in the sun and my feet in the grass. And then I
Mhm.
do some Tai Chi or arm swings or other exercises outside
Yeah.
every morning. I write three things I'm grateful for, three intentions for the day. I visualize my perfect day. And then I Nevelize my perfect day.
Oh, I love that.
I
Nebulize.
feel it real. I
Yeah.
feel it real. Assume the wish fulfilled. What would my life feel like if ever I had all the amazing conversations I ever wanted with you and anyone else, and you all got the most out of it, right? And
Yeah.
so, do you have any daily or morning practices that really kind of set your day on fire?
Oh, totally. First of all, you were so regimented. Like, wow. That's a lot of practices to keep up with every day.
Yeah.
Every morning I do have a routine. I before I wake up, before I touch, well, I touch my phone to do this, but I don't check my, text messages. I will put on some healing music or a guided meditation for at least 20 minutes, I would say, sometimes 30. And that just really calms my nervous system. It gets my mindset, ready for the day in a positive state. It helps me connect to who I am and what I'm here to do and serve others. And also helps me visualize. I'm big on visualization and visualizing what I want. And I'm able to like kind of rehearse it like a movie, so to speak. I play out that, scene in my mind of what I'm working on. And I do all of this every morning. And then I always love to go for a walk outside. I try and get outside every day and connect with nature, hearing the birds, feeling the sun and the wind. I feel like that's such an important piece of connecting to yourself and to the earth and to the universe and to others.
Hmm.
So I always walk outside and then I, do my meditation. I would say like those are the two things I always do every day.
Hmm.
Beyond that, I have affirmations. Like if I'm a person, I'm a human. I have doubts sometimes or I have
Hmm.
anxiety throughout the day sometimes or something, and I'll use affirmations to kind of bring me back to myself.
Hmm.
And those change depending on what's going on throughout my life or what stage of transformation I'm in. But yeah,
Sure.
I would say those are my routines that I kind of always stick to.
Now, let me ask you this. When did you start doing those daily routines, and
Mm.
what differences have you noticed in you as it became a habit?
Oh, I don't even know. A very long time, years. I've been doing this
Okay.
routine.
Okay.
It's a part of who I am. I
All
can't
right.
imagine. Even when I go on vacation, I always wear like this blindfold over my eyes, complete darkness. I'll bring my headphones because it's such a practice for who I am and keeping me, where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been doing it for many years, and I find it really just connects me to who I am. It makes me
Mm-hmm.
feel like me. It makes me feel that calmness. It brings me back to calm. I think throughout the day we can kind of find our ways into problems, people, situations, unexpected events, life. Life
Mm-hmm.
happens and it's hard to find your way back. So when you start your day feeling that way, it's harder to pull away from it.
Right.
Mhm.
Now, I want the best for you in life, and I love you and I care about you, and so does the
Oh,
universe.
yeah.
What I wanted to know from you is, what do you want the message to be if I start following your channel tomorrow
Mm,
and really tapping into you? What do you
yeah.
want? What do you want for me?
Well, I would say more than anything, I just want you to feel seen. I want you to feel heard and understood. That is like the basis of my channel. I feel like a lot of people during the transformation process, they don't always understand what they're going through. And so to watch a video and to hear my story or feel connected to me or just be like, man, she gets it. She understands what this is like, or I'm new and I don't understand this, but she told it in a way that made me get it. I really love that awakening and that understanding that people take and get away from it.
Hmm.
But also I would say trust changes everything. And I love building that trust and reminding people that trust changes everything in their life.
Now, you may need a minute or two to think about this one, but
Okay.
what I wanted to throw out there to you is, can you remember some of the comments or anyone's comment that, oh, since you've been doing content, that really
Mm,
just set your heart on fire?
oh,
And it
that's
doesn't it
tough.
don't it doesn't have to be specific, but and it could be all of them,
I
right?
mean, what's really sweet is my husband made me this jar when I was first starting out, and he it was so sweet. He printed all of the comments and put them on the outside of this jar so that I could remember why I'm doing this and who it's
Hmm.
reaching. Because doing YouTube can be sometimes really hard to remember that you're reaching people because even though I do get comments, you don't always know the reach that you're having. Some
Hmm.
people never comment on videos, and they're just
Right.
watching all the time. So when
Yeah.
I do get a comment, I love it. And most of the time, the ones that reach me the most are ones where people say, "Wow, you explained this in a way that like totally blew my mind," or
Hmm.
"This changed everything for me," or "This made such a difference in my day today." And it's
Right.
such a beautiful feeling having that impact on people. I used to do it when I did makeup. I could see the impact because people, my clients would smile and they would just feel so good and they would like send me presents and thank you
Hmm.
cards. But with YouTube, you don't always get that back. And so when I
Right.
do, I really treasure it and appreciate it.
And I'm going to assume, even though we're not supposed to assume, that you and your husband are very much on the same energetic
Oh, absolutely.
plane, and you've both transformed with and together and individually since you've
Yeah.
been together. When did you get married?
I got married last year.
Oh,
1 year.
okay.
Yep.
Okay. And how
Yeah.
long have you been together?
We've been together a long time. This will be going on 14 years. So we waited a
Okay.
while to get
All
married.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Just wanted to make sure
No.
that long term was where you wanted to go, right?
Oh, yes, we were committed a long time ago, but the
I
marriage
know.
kind of solidified it.
Yeah, fantastic, fantastic. Well, I'm happy for you both. That's definitely an amazing thing. The other thing, you mentioned something about nervous system regulation.
Yeah.
Give me some of the techniques that you do, obviously meditation and breathing, but
Mhm. Mhm.
specifically, how, maybe you can give me a little insight on how you meditate or breathe that
Mm.
has really helped you with that.
Well, I think everyone's different. Everyone's nervous system is different. So whatever works for me not may not work for someone else. But I am really into music and like healing frequencies. And so to regulate, even before this interview, I was putting on Reiki healing sounds or singing bowls or just there's so much energy in sound. And so I love to use sound to really regulate myself. I
Hmm.
love to move. I actually love working out. That's something that I'm very passionate about, but also helps regulate my nervous system. It makes me feel calm and, everything just at peace inside.
Hmm.
Obviously, the guided meditations I do every day, and then being in nature is I live in Colorado. I go out to the mountains. I like that perspective too of just feeling small,
Hmm.
reminding myself that I'm part of this universe and I'm connected to this planet and to people and to, the
Right.
universe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a really good way.
And so, one of the things that I've learned recently, or I've been a grateful person in general, but I've been a complainer at times. I
Mm.
literally never complain anymore. So I'm very grateful and I'm very joyful, pretty much all the time. And so, why do you think people have such a hard time loving themselves and figuring out a way to be grateful for everything?
Oh, that's a deep question. I mean, I think a lot of it, unfortunately, comes back to trauma. We learn how to love ourselves when we're children and how our parents treated us. And so you learn all this subconscious programming when you're a kid, and then you become an adult and you're carrying that program, and we don't always know how to change it. It's
Mm,
so deeply programmed in who we are and how we think and what we think is possible for ourselves. And self love is part of that. And if we weren't given the tools to feel like we were worthy when we were a kid, we probably don't have them as an adult. And it's a lot
right,
harder to learn as an adult. But I'm proof that you can. I always try and say that in my videos like, I'm proof that this works, if you have doubts or you haven't felt it yet. And some
right.
people need to feel it to really believe it.
Hmm.
But, you can train yourself, like you were saying, with all your practices, self love. It's very
Hmm.
possible.
Yeah, and one of my friends, she uses the phrase radical gratitude.
I've heard that
She's
one. That's great.
literally especially grateful for the
Mhm.
not so good things that happen.
Yep.
Because just like with your car accident, you manifested that. And
Yes.
then you recognized it in your awareness that I
Yeah.
made this happen. And
Mhm.
then you went inward and you're like, what's the lesson?
Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
So how can someone who's never looked at their
Mhm.
problems as lessons
Mhm.
make a little shift?
That's a tough one. I always say problems are blessings in disguise. You
Sweet.
know, it's it's opening your mind to like, okay, why did this happen? It's believing that it's there to help you and to serve you. And it's viewing it through that lens of, like with
Hmm.
me in the car accident, I saw it as a wake up call for me to get on this path and to learn more and expand, who I am and my experience in life. I'm so much happier now. I feel so much more at peace in my heart and in my life than I had before. And I think if people can work on just opening their eyes just a little bit to that, it will
Hmm.
really be helpful to like seeing their problems as blessings.
Sure, sure. And
Mhm.
in my teachings and learnings, I work with Dr. Joe Vitale with Zero Limits Living. He wrote a book called The Attractor Factor. So I
Oh
want
yeah.
to tell you this alignment story really quickly.
Yeah.
So he wrote the book Attractor Factor. Rhonda Byrne is wrote The Secret. She
Mhm.
read the book The Attractor Factor,
Yeah.
invited Dr. Joe to be in the Secret movie. I
Wow.
watched The Secret in 2012, and now
Mm.
you and I are together.
Right. Can always trace
Okay?
it back, right?
And I'm telling you, you and I would not be here had I
Yeah.
not been handed the
So
DVD. Remember those DVDs? I
true.
was
Yeah.
handed a DVD in 2012 and I popped it in and I'm like, the guy put his body back together after a plane crash. Well, gosh, I can overcome my condition and
Yes.
did. And the same situation with your car accident. Once you saw the lesson in it, it improved the healing.
Yes. And I think hearing people's stories is so important, like that's why I share. It's hard to be vulnerable sometimes and share my tragedies, my traumas, my wounds, and things I've been through. But if we can be vulnerable and share with people, it helps them see that there's a path, there's a reason things happen the way they do. And hearing other people's stories helped me. I remember I was reading the book, I don't know if you've heard of The Surrender Experiment by Michael Singer.
I've heard of it. I have not read
Yeah,
it.
it's a good one. You should read it. But I was reading that when I was going through the whole car accident and I had a personal injury lawsuit. And he was going through a lawsuit at the time. And same thing. I was like, well, if he can get through that lawsuit and like have this beautiful attitude of growth, like he was just growing even more, than I can do that too.
Hmm.
And so I always try and share because I feel like that's such a way to connect with people and help them see that everything that happens to you is for a reason and helping you on your path.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
and another thing too is people get so caught up in their current situation, they don't realize this too shall pass. One day
That's
at a time, it'll be all fine.
Yeah,
That always happens.
so
You and
true.
I have been through stuff before we met that we got through.
Yes.
So if
I
there's
always
a,
say, oh,
no, go
sorry, I
ahead.
was gonna say,
No.
I always say, like, think about a problem you had a year ago. It probably doesn't exist anymore,
Hmm.
Most problems we find our way through it and then we forget about it. So
Hmm.
like this too shall pass is so true, right?
Right. Yeah, and one of the things that I really like about you and your energy, I can feel it, and I see the divine in you, and I am so grateful for your presence in this moment. I know it's going to be in the description, everybody. Deena, what is your YouTube channel?
So my YouTube is Deena Page Wellness, and they can find me through that. I also have Deena Page Wellness. I think it's Deena Page Wellness, sorry, for TikTok.
Okay.
And then if you want to sign up I have a 5-minute wealth reset that you can listen to daily. It's like a guided affirmation that they can download and listen to. It's like an easy way to start healing the relationship with money. Throughout my
Mm,
life, money was like one sore spot that I needed to work on. And I find a lot
okay.
of people do. So I
Right.
created that to help people start shifting their energy and their identity and their relationship with money as well.
Yeah, and let's definitely land on that for just a minute before we land the plane here in a
Yeah.
couple minutes. But what has shifted you with your relationship with money? Can you give us a couple of things that I might find in a video that you have up now or
Mhm.
just something off the top of your head?
Sure. Well, I have a lot of guided meditations actually that you can put on to sleep too to help rewire your brain and your subconscious beliefs around money. I find so many people have scarcity, a scarcity relationship with money, and it is a relationship. And I think when you can see it through that lens, like it's a person and you have to, see, how do I talk to this person? Am I afraid of this person? Do I love this person? Money, and the more you work on your relationship with money and healing your relationship with money, more money can come to you. But there's a block in front of you if you're feeling scarce with money, if you're, don't trust money, if you're negative towards money. Think of it like a friend. They probably don't want to be around you. They probably don't want to be in your presence. They probably don't want to bring you presents.
Hmm.
So you have to really just think of money like a person. And how am I speaking to money? Am I trusting money? Am I loving money? Am I welcoming money?
Right.
And when you start thinking about it that way, you'll start realizing and becoming more aware of what's going on in your relationship with money.
Yeah, I have an interesting question for you, and
Yeah.
it will cause you to pause.
Okay.
If there's one question I should have asked, what would it have been?
Ooh, I mean, that is one I'm gonna have to think about.
Or one thing we should all know about you that maybe
Okay,
we
that's
didn't.
probably better.
Okay.
Like that's easy on me, Tom.
Okay. Sorry, I had to reel it back in. That was a heavy one.
That was a heavy one. That might have made me think for a few minutes.
Yeah.
One thing about me that they wouldn't know about me.
Either. Anything.
I
Anything worth
mean,
sharing.
I haven't talked about my love for animals. I'm a vegan, so
Okay.
I love animals. I feel like when you talk about nervous system regulation, animals are such a big part of that. A cat's purr can really regulate your nervous system. Taking care of an animal can help you feel like you're, connected to someone or to a soul. And I just love the presence of an animal because I feel like they're just pure love. They're
Mm,
such beautiful souls, and I want to help animals. Somewhere down the road, I don't know if I want to have a ranch or a sanctuary or something to do with animals, but being vegan is kind of my way to helping them right now.
yeah. Yeah. I definitely want to touch base with you about that when we end the session here. I want to thank you so much for being here. I also want to read my namaste quote to you before
Mm,
I let you
sure.
go because you mean something to me in this moment, and I'm so grateful for you because I'm a better person than I was, 30 minutes ago.
I love
And
that. Thank you. Yeah.
that's because of you. So this is it here. So it starts off obviously with Namaste.
Mm,
My soul honors your soul. I commend the place in you where the spirit resides. I
mm.
admire the place in you which is of love, truth, light, and peace, because it is also within me. In sharing these things, we are united, we are one.
I love that. Wow, that's a great. Where'd you find that? Did you write that?
No, no, my wife found it at some store somewhere, and
Oh,
she did, wish it, dream it, do it, live simply,
love,
believe.
love that.
This is how I show up when I do any of these conversations. I call them recorded conversations. I don't really use the word podcast because that refers to Apple. But anyway, the other thing is that, I want to make sure the world knows that if they're faced with anything that's going on right now, they can shift their energy in a moment
So true.
and just snap right out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I like to call it child's play.
Oh, that's great.
Remember when you were a child and you
Yeah,
had to decide between riding a bike or playing in the sandbox.
right.
And that was your biggest decision of
That's
the
it. Yeah.
day,
It's
right?
your biggest problem, right?
And
Yeah.
and so we learn this adulting thing, and then for some people, the most gregarious, outgoing, fun adults never
Mhm.
stop being children, and
It's so
everything
true.
seems to work out for them.
Yeah,
And
I
so
love
that's why I try and let people know. And I see the child in you.
that. Oh,
And so that's why I wanted to say namaste, it basically means I see the divine in you. And
mm,
I wanted to pour into you. And then also, too, remember everyone that's listening too, when you compliment other people and you sincerely say something wonderful, it could be
mm,
as simple as a stranger's wearing a cool hat or a cool pair of shoes. You're lightening them up with that compliment and that love but you're
Yes,
also getting oxytocin kicking through you.
so
And
true.
so what does oxytocin mean to you? I know you know it's the love hormone, but do you do anything that kind of stimulate that on a regular basis in your life?
I would just say kindness. My
Okay.
mom has always taught me to be this kind soul in the world. And it could be simple. Like my husband is also very kind. He'll be reaching, he's very tall, reaching cereal boxes down for people at grocery stores, and just little acts of kindness are such a
Hmm.
beautiful way to make people feel good and seen and
Right.
heard. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I love your whole vibe, your whole energy. You and I are complete strangers, but we're friends now.
Yeah.
And so thank you for coming into my time and space and energy today. You mind if I say a quick prayer of thanks before we end?
Oh, sure. I love that.
Okay. God, thank you so much for being present as Deena and I shared this time, this place, this space, and this energy, knowing that you were here listening and guiding our words. It was seamless every minute. We can't even believe it's already done.
Mhm.
And thank you for all the blessings that are in store for Deena and for me and for the universe because of this conversation. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. That was beautiful. Thank you for sharing your energy and kindness and generosity today by having me on. That was a great conversation. I loved it.
Yeah. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and we'll see you. Check her out in the.
Oh, I cut out.